Welcome to Thriver TV, the place to break free from narcissistic abuse with quantum tools and understandings. Should you warn people about the narcissist? This is a very important question. And so many people ask, should I warn this person about the narcissist? Those of us who have tried in the past have suffered some very poor results when doing this. And I know that many of you would like to help other people so that they don't have to go through what you have, especially people who you love. However, this usually doesn't turn out well. In today's Thriver TV episode, we investigate why warning people usually doesn't work and what you can do to help people leave and recover from narcissists. Okay, so before we get started, thank you for subscribing to my channel and supporting the Thriver mission, which is the raising of awareness that it is possible to heal for real from narcissistic abuse in a much shorter time frame than with contemporary processes. Okay, so now let's get started on today's episode. Okay, I want to start off with this topic. When you are traumatized, don't act. Most of us, when trying to warn somebody about the narcissist, were still very deeply entrenched in the trauma of what this person had done to us. Like Phil, his wife Denise left him for Jeff, one of her work contacts. Denise had always been the street angel, home devil, and this person, Jeff, had no idea what she was behind closed doors. Of course, Bill had been smeared to Jeff and Jeff believed Denise's version of things. Bill, traumatized beyond measure, tried to get Jeff to understand what had happened and what Denise was really like, but it only made Bill look even more guilty of what Denise had betrayed him as. I want you to know with all of my heart that there is a very profound and absolute quantum law, and it's this. If you try to take any action from a place of being traumatized, the results of your actions are only ever going to bring you more trauma. The law of so within, so without is as absolute as gravity. Think back through your life and you will know that what I'm saying is completely and utterly true. Your real life results are the proof of this. This applies when we try to warn the new supply, our children, family and friends, and even authorities. And this happened to me horrifically. The harder I tried to warn people and prove my own innocence, the more his family, my friends, colleagues, and all legal and police associations completely believed that I was the problem. Even my son believed him. Of course, we want these people to know the truth. We want to stop the horrific smearing that is happening to us. We want to warn those who are being bewitched and mesmerized by the narcissist. However, if you try to achieve this while you are still suffering from intense trauma, forget it. It only makes matters worse for you. In fact, the narcissist will use your trauma against you as the bullets to shoot you with. All right, I want you to understand how important it is to let go of your dismay. Marie, like most of us before Thriver Healing, was distraught by how many people believed the narcissist and thought badly of her. Her family were even still socially inviting the narcissist to functions. The trauma was so horrific for Marie that she thought she was going to die. She felt intense resentment and betrayal toward these people. I promise you, even though you may feel justified in feeling like this, you will be stuck in wrong town. There is no healing or resurrection of your life in this orientation. It can be helpful to understand that narcissists are very skilled at appearing calm, cool, and measured. In stark contrast, you're likely to be completely disheveled and distraught, understandably, and you feel out of control. Who appears to be more believable? I want you to really ask yourself that. Narcissists are able to cross all boundaries and borders by lying about anything and everything that will suit their agenda. Normal adults have been conditioned to believe that when somebody looks you in the eyes and appears to be credible, that they're telling you the truth. I remember some years ago, a very dear friend of mine, John, was married to Grace. And I started to discover that Grace was a deeply troubled woman and had quite a few narcissistic traits. Yet, she told me stories about John that were so compelling that I started to believe them. And this was even after I'd become a global narcissistic abuse recovery expert. And one morning, whilst staying at their home, I overheard a conversation that Grace had with John. She later relayed a completely different version to me. It was then that I realized she'd been lying to me all along, and I broke off all contact with her. Why had I believed her instead of John? It was because I'm a normal human being who can still be susceptible to somebody's Narcissistic Academy Award performance. Don't blame these people, because it really can happen to anybody. All right, let's look at this topic. The people involved are on a soul journey. Those of us who've been narcissistically abused and have actualized our Thriver recovery understand a very deep truth. This: the narcissist in our life smashed our unhealed wounds and insecurities up to the surface so that we could let go of them and turn inwards to self-partner to heal these parts of ourselves. There, in a nutshell, within the healing of these wounds is the gold of our personal evolution. If we hadn't done this, and if we hadn't been through this, we would still be traumatized and diminished, being in mere survival, stuck with all of the abuse symptoms of ongoing PTSD, agoraphobia, diminished trust in self, life and others, and all the other nasties that go with failed recoveries. But because we went through a very real healing journey, we're incredibly grateful to not just be released from narcissistic abuse, but also from all of our previous insecurities, limitations, anxieties, and depression that were holding us back as a result of not yet being fully self-partnered. Narcissistic abuse generated the grist that forced us to finally turn inward to do this essential inner work. And as such, this brings a completely different perspective regarding wanting to warn others. You know the truth now, that everyone who is hooked into a narcissist is also going through an incredible soul journey themselves. They now have the opportunity to also heal and evolve those parts of themselves that are susceptible and being targeted and smashed up to the surface. This I know with every ounce of my being. If people are saved prematurely from this journey with a narcissist, they still have to meet up with another abuser in the future who will deliver the same agonizing trauma. Why? Because this is a soul contract. This is what this person's soul and true inner being wants more than anything. It wants the following: for this person to give up trying to seek outer false sources to take away the pain and come home to being self-partnered and healed and whole within themselves. What soul wouldn't want that? Because true life and true self is on the other side of that, through the healing of that. There are no mistakes here. And this is a big conversation and it's quite confronting. How do you feel about what I just shared with you? I would love you to pause this video and write to me how this feels for you below. Okay, let's have a look at the most powerful thing you can do to help. I know that the most powerful thing that I can ever do regarding helping someone who is with a narcissist is to heal myself regarding how I see them. If I see this person as a powerless victim, then I add to the energetic field where we were all interconnected regarding them being powerless and a helpless victim. If I heal within myself how I see this person and reach the true knowing that they are an evolving being awakening to their own empowered and wholeness evolution, then I add to that reality occurring. It's because of understanding all of this powerfully that my greatest mission is to hold the space for all of us to awaken into the glory of this experience and exactly what our soul intends for us. When I do this, for those whom I love and care about, I've experienced the sheer miracle time and time again of people rising up to claim this higher level of vibration. Those of you who are NARP members, I cannot recommend enough for the people in your life who you love to do the healing on yourself regarding how you feel about this. Because when you heal that, then you will see the incredible results unfold. So, to wrap up this episode, my total recommendation is not to try to warn people. Rather heal you and be the example who will change the world. And at the moment, healing our world is very important because it is deeply in crisis, as you all know. And there is a greater need now more than ever for us to claim our personal solidness, peace, and power for ourselves personally, those we love, and for our world. And I really want you to know that my Quantum Freedom Healing programs are all home-based. And they're backed with an incredible global support system online that you can access 24/7. And this means that you don't need to travel anywhere and that you can stay in the peace and the sanctity of your own home while you deeply heal. So, to find out more, please click the link which appears at the top right of this video. And as always, I look forward to answering your comments and your questions below. So, until the next one, keep smiling, keep healing, and keep thriving because there's nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.